everybody, and welcome to one of my PGA DFS top 5 videos. This week is the Farmers Insurance Open in beautiful San Diego, California. Been a couple of times to San Diego myself, but never to the Torrey Pines Park. Definitely on my list next time I get out there. Who's on my list this week? Well, this is, again, the PGA DFS top 5 values. So let's go ahead and first maybe do a little bit of a review. You know, again, if you've been following me for a little while, first, thank you for doing that. You guys know I'm all about transparency in this game. You kind of have to be. Set yourself apart a little bit here. Of course, if you're not a follower of me but would like to become one of the great ways to do that is to like and subscribe to this channel. You'll get notified every time one of these top 5 videos comes live. And of course, all the other videos we have here. Or you can follow me on Twitter at DFSGolfer23. So let's go ahead and jump right into my top 5 values here at this week's Farmers Insurance. First one I'm going to go with, similar to last week. Actually, sorry, I jumped around a bit. I told you I was going to do a review. That's what we're going to do. Abraham Answer was my top value as I was getting into Hideki Matsuyama. I have a very correlation to Abraham Answer, who I picked last week. And I'm coming in the top 5. Emiliano Grillo was in the top 5 heading into Sunday, but a poor Sunday with the putter moved him down the list. Then Cameron Davis was my 3rd. He came in the top 3. Doc Redman 4. He made the cut, came in last, though, or second to last behind McNeely. And Joel Damon missed the cut in his opening event. So 4 for 5 with 2 top 5s and another guy in the top 20. A pretty good week for this video. So, okay, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Hideki Matsuyama, as I already teased, will be my top end value this week. $9,200 on DK, $10,700 on FanDuel. Last 2 years, course history, we got them both 45th and 3rd. Recent form, he did not play last week at the American Express, but did play out at the Sony Open, came in 19th. Pretty good showing there. As you can see, 33rd off the tee, 31st on the approach, 32nd around the green. So really consistent tee to green this year. Just waiting for that putter to warm up. 210th, the latest update from Matsuyama. Hopefully that'll change this week, but just if the other 3 stay the same, expect him to be a really good value this week. Number 2 on the board is going to be Adam Scott, checking in at $8,300 on DraftKings this week, $9,900 on FanDuel. Course history, though, came in 2nd here a couple of years ago. Did not play here last year, but still, I would suggest that course history being 2nd, that's pretty good. Recent form, we know he played out in Maui, but he did not play last week at the American Express and played at the Sony Open, came in 41st. Off the tee, 48th, very good, 57th on the approach. No surprise to see his ball striking be very good. Where he's lost strokes in this couple of starts this year, it's been around the green, which is not typical of him. Typically, he's got a very, very astute game around the green, so I expect that to pick up a little bit, especially this week here at Torrey. 113th putting, so certainly better than what we've seen in years past with Scott, so like him a lot this week. All right, the next one I'm going to bring up was part of my top 5 sleepers last week, and it was Gary Woodland. We saw at least one good start from him coming in 16th last week, but we know that he's incredibly good when he's in his top form. We want to try and jump on that, of course, before the majors do. Coming in at $7,800 this week, I think he presents pretty good value. Course history, missed the cut last year, but it was his only or first missed cut since 2013, I believe. Came in 9th the year before that. Mentioned the 16th last year. Off the tee is where he's really been struggling, with his hip injury. There's no doubt about it. He had a torn labrum, really struggled. 246th on the approach, not as much of a struggle. 139th, 92nd around the green, and 109th on his strokes gained rank for his putting. Do like him a lot this week, though. I expect that off the tee numbers to improve. It looked very good last week, much better than it had been, so I like to jump on him here. Speaking of much better last week than it's been recently, that's for our guy Byung-Hyun Ahn, checking in at $7,500 on DraftKings this week and $9,500 on FanDuel. $7,500 on DraftKings, $9,000 on FanDuel. I apologize. Course history, 68th here last year, so he made the cut. 42nd the time before that. Did not play here in 2019, so that's why you see they're not available there. But came in 8th last week. Started to look a little bit better, and maybe we're going to see that consistent tee to green game that we're expecting of him. Not 103rd off the tee, what he's been, but the approach and around the green both looked very good. 27th ranked on the year and 25th ranked on the year. But the putter, still non-existent for Benny on 247th. Might even be out of like 250 golfers. So Do like him here this week, though. I think that with the ball striking as good as it was last week, plus at least he made enough putts to get inside the top 10, should take that confidence down a little bit south to San Diego from Palm Springs and have another good start this week. My low in value, which I guess last week, looking at it, Joel Damon was $7,500. He was my lowest priced value. This week, I'm going to take a little bit more of a gamble. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I tried to do this at the Sony Open with Doug Gim, who ended up missing the cut, who bounced back with a top 5 last week. So maybe just a week early and $1 short, as I say, on Doug Gim. This week, I'm going to go back to that range, and I'm going to talk about Wyndham Clark. Here's a guy that superb off the tee, very good around the greens, and certainly can get hot with the putter. I like that formula here. His course history would suggest that, yeah, he's got some decent upside, especially at 6,800. He's come in 35th before. Did have a miscut here last year, but I liked the form, at least enough. What I saw out of him last week came in 54th. His approaches actually were good, which is, as you can see on the strokes gained numbers, one of his worst parts of his game. He's ranked 183rd. But again, like I said last week, we saw it at least pop up enough that I'm interested in him this week. He's very, very good off the tee. We certainly know that. Needs some work. Of course, if he catches a hot putter, which I do expect him to do, he's a pretty good putter. I expect him to at least do much better than he did last week. And also, mentioning last week, there were at least one round, if not two, where he did gain strokes on the approach. So it's not like it's that far off. Obviously, one bad round. When you only have 3 measured rounds can certainly hurt that. And it was. It was in that third round on Saturday. He lost over 3 strokes. Must have had a water ball in there, but still gaining 2 out of the 3 days. You remove that water ball, and it looks like Wyndham Clark's stats are a little bit better than what they suggest. So I like him as the low on value this week. So to quickly review, in case you're jumping on or clicked a little bit too far ahead and you want a quick summary, it's Hideki Matsuyama, Adam Scott, Gary Woodland, Byung-Hyun An, and Wyndham Clark this week. So thank you all for joining one of my top 5 PGA DFS videos. Make sure you like and subscribe on the way out, or dislike if you don't like any of this information or don't like some of these plays this week. Of course, I like to hear your feedback. And until next time, come and join me for my top 5 sleepers and fades, of course, and my bets for this week's Farmers Insurance Open. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you on the other side. Cheers.